Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, which today turns painfully to the long-vexed question of the hole in the presenter's head. Not right through to his brain, of course, it stops short there. I refer to his lack of hair on a well-defined portion of his skull. Having seen others flaunt their new barnets, the presenter yearns for a fistful of it. I sometimes amaze myself at the general knowledge that I display in this programme. Yeah. It's all off the top of my head. You think it's all written down?
Well, it can't be off the top of your head.
It is off the Why not?
No, I don't mean that.
Speaking of the top of my head, I've decided to go through with it.
Well, I was thinking about that this morning. Janet was very concerned about you.
In what way?
Janet talked to me privately. I hope she's not listening. Janet talked to me privately.
Mm-hmm. What did she say? It's getting worse.
I don't want to say.
Go on.
No, well, let's just say.
I can take it. This will help me to make a decision. Go on.
All she said was, I think he should do it. That's all she said. That's all.
Well, that means it's getting worse.
Aye.
I have this, it's an affliction. It's genetic.
Well, stop talking about it and just
I'm not going to stop talking about it because if I talk about it, it means I have to do it.
You've been talking about it for a year now.
No, this is not cosmetic. Well, every time I saw... Do you know what made up my mind? I saw Jimmy Nesbitt the other night on the TV. His hair is great. If I see Keelty, I'll probably scratch his eyes out. These men, formerly men who are losing their hair, are suddenly now extremely hirsute. I see no reason at all why I shouldn't join them. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ring Jimmy Nesbitt. I'm going to tell him to tell the people that do the thing how famous I am in the north. And that if I do it, everyone will want to do it from up here. Because they don't know me down there, you see.
Right.
I'm talking about a transplant here.
Well,
a heart transplant.
Janet was very emotional when she was talking about it.
Janet thinks the world of me.
As she does.
And she knows that, I haven't long to go.
Yeah.
And she's very concerned.
She'd like you to go with a full head of hair.
Exactly. Yeah. She wants me to go down fighting.
Yes.
She knows that there's a year or two. See, I'm great in every other way, as you know. That's the only flaw I have. I mean, look at me. Look, Emma. Ask Emma. Right. Ask Emma. Am I a good-looking guy or not? Go on, ask her. Ask her.
Well, I've seen you better on a Monday morning. I can tell you now. I can tell you that. But you're looking all right.
Yeah, gee, thanks.
You're nothing, I was
not right home about.
You're sitting at a very nice 7 out of 10.
Well, you see,
I think that's not bad for a Monday morning.
Not bad at all.
That's good.
See, nobody knows what we're like in the morning. This is not television, We've seen some horrible sights in here in the mornings. Some of the people. This is a radio station, of course.
Is it?
No need for that. I'm just explaining to the listeners that
who are listening on the radio.
People who work here, people who walk in here, sometimes don't care what they look like because it doesn't matter what they look like. It's different when you're down in UTV in Belfast and BBC Television. People walking in wearing suits with their shoes shined and everything and their hair combed because they might be on television. But here, nobody's going to be on television. Nobody's going to see them. Just stay to some of them. Have you seen Desi? The presenter's fitness regime is being questioned. Corliss interruptus, suspecting quite correctly that the presenter is lying, queries claims made as to lengths of time spent pounding the roads at any given period. Tell Jerry and the listeners to try the National Health Service podcasts.
For what?
Apparently, for those totally unfit and want to start running. 9 weeks of podcasts, starting with walking for 90 seconds, followed by running for 60 seconds. That'd be great. You'd be back home in a minute and a half. Walk? Should I walk for hours?
And do not.
I do.
You do not.
I do.
But right, give me. How long can you walk for?
What do you mean? How long can I walk for? I don't know how long I can walk for.
No.
On Saturday and Sunday, each day I walk for 2.5 hours.
You can walk. Day. You can walk for 2.5 hours.
I do it every day. I can. Yeah, 2.5 hours. Yeah.
No. I know. I know you're telling lies.
How do you know I'm telling lies?
I know you're telling lies.
I'm not telling lies.
Because I've been walking longer than you, and I can walk for 3 hours, and I would feel it in my knees and my ankles. I can
walk for 2.5. You think that I can't walk as far as you? Is that what you're saying?
Because I'm walking long. I'm like Noel Thompson. I'm an experienced walker.
You're not an experienced. What do you mean an experienced walker? Everybody walks.
No, they do not. They don't walk as much as me or Noel.
But you're just looking in people's windows. That's not walking. That's nosying. The presenter's sense of duty to the listeners is what drives him forward. The function of the people who work on the programme is clearly to trip him up, humiliate him and present him in the worst possible light. The presenter senses this and realises that attack is the best form of defence. He goes at them with some determination and pluck. Tell me about the things we've got for the people.
You've got John. Was it John you were talking to?
Yes.
Was it John?
I don't know.
You were talking to him.
I know, but I don't
The
remember
man with
anything.
the camera in Tyrone.
He got the fellow that I couldn't understand.
Yes,
he got his camera.
Got the camera?
What kind of a camera did he get?
The camera that he was looking for. The camera.
What was he looking for? Why must I drag everything out of you? Just tell me what kind of camera he's got.
Sure, you know.
I don't know. The listeners don't know.
He
Why don't you
got
just
the
tell me
camera
what it
that takes the film.
is? The camera that takes the photographs.
The film.
Yeah, okay.
That puts in the wee cartridge.
It's got a make, any kind of a make.
Well, I don't know, I'm sure. So it doesn't matter to him what make it is.
It matters to me. Okay.
Oh,
Well, what else did we get? Did we get a tape recorder for the lady?
We've got...
What kind of a tape recorder did we get for her?
We've got... Someone's got a cassette recorder for
What make?
sale. There's also... what the
Can we not
lady
get her
was-
one for nothing? Why do we have to buy one? Is there no one out there who would give her one?
Well, I don't know. This person phoned to say they've got...
Why,
a couple.
you know, if I was in there, I'd be on top of all this. But you people seem to be so
Well, I gave you the telephone
cack-handed.
number.
You people are so cack-handed in there. You don't seem to ask anything of anything.
Right,
you
a
don't know the
person-
make of anything. In other words, what you're saying to me is that we couldn't get anyone to give that woman a cassette recorder for nothing. Is that what you're saying?
Emma says she has.
Emma says she has one.
Emma's nodding in the corner.
Well, why didn't she kind of talk to you and tell you things, and then you can tell me? Or why
Because
doesn't Emma
Emma
tell
turned
me?
around and said to me earlier, we've got the cassette recorder.
Okay, can I ask you one question? I want an answer, yes or no. Have we got a cassette recorder that lady doesn't have to pay for?
Have we, John? Have we, Emma? Emma's on the phone. And also, it's on...
We don't want that woman to have to pay for a tape recorder because
Well,
everyone...
there's one for 35 quid in Argus.
I know, of course there are, but what I'm saying is that every man jack in this country has probably got a cassette recorder in his drawer and he doesn't need. And why should that poor lady? Why should we get her to pay for stuff? She's the only one who really needs one, and everybody's got one. I had one up until about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I gave it away to somebody. And I'm sure you've got. Have you got one at home?
No.
I bet you have.
A
Cassette recorder. Have you? A cassette
I
player.
don't even know what a cassette recorder. I can't remember what it...
Your wife probably has one. She hasn't
Are
told
you
you
talking
about
about
it.
a round spool thing?
Do you know what a cassette is?
Yes, I remember them now.
Do you remember?
It's coming to me. Believe it, I didn't think what it was.
Yeah. And you had a machine. You put those
Yes,
in.
and you press and record.
Have you got one of those?
No.
We have one here. Actually, we should rip her at the wall. Get
Brenda.
What?
Brenda.
Brenda what?
2.
Hello, Brenda.
Good morning, Jerry.
How are you? I'm sorry, that this is so disjointed.
I know you're always arguing on that programme.
What would it be like if I had a program where people were trying to help me?
I don't know.
I think I'd probably die of boredom.
You need more of the public in to give you a hand as that boy you have.
I think we're serving the public badly because they're treated with contempt and disdain. And I'm doing the best I can because I've got a good heart.
Oh, I know you
I do the
have.
best I can, but I can't do
know.
everything. I'm trapped in this chair with all the machinery.
I know.
It's up to me and all the people around me to do my good works, but nothing seems to be done, and the people, it's all coming back at me, and
that's
they think I'm some kind of
I
monster.
think you need a holiday, Jerry.
I think I need it's a week since I had one. There's a theory spreading maliciously through the corridors of the BBC that certain presenters often walk into the studio with one CD containing a number of cover versions of well-known hits. This cuts down weight to be carried and valuable manpower is thus preserved. Whether or not it is what the listeners want is a moot point.
The last time you featured the Stoned Country on your show, you did exactly the same thing.
What did I do?
You played all the music from your show was from the one album.
Really?
Yes.
Why did I do a thing like
I
that?
don't know, which is what you're doing today.
Because I'm Thran.
Yeah.
No, every once in a while I just feel that, I can feel what the people need.
No, every once in a while you don't have any CDs ready for the show and you lift the first one you see and say,
Do you think-
I shall feature that today?
Do you think that I would come on here on the radio and tell the people that I'm going to play some particular tracks from one CD because I didn't bother to bring any down
No,
with
you don't
me?
tell the people that, but we
Do you
know the
think-
reason why.
No, but that's a wrong thing to say. Do you think that I would sink to that level? Do you think that I would cheat the listeners like that? Do you think that I would treat the listeners with such contempt that I'd be too lazy to look at all the CDs and only bring down one CD and say this will do them rightly?
Yes.
No, that's what I did. Great shows last week. Great shows which passed the time for our hard-working MLAs up at Stormont as they sat twiddling their thumbs waiting for Loose Women to appear on television. Loose Women? Sniffed Tommy my cat. I hate, loathe and despise loose women. So vulgar, so crude, so awful, so loud. I climbed up on the china cabinet that was made in Taiwan and I said, the women you see on Loose Women are real women, without any guile or pretense. When women are around men, they're all nicey-nicey. But when women are in a gang, they turn into wild, feral creatures with aggressive knickers and sharp claws. In the name of Slattery's goat, said Tommy, are you saying that women are as bad as the men? Not as bad, I yelled. They're worse. Have you ever seen a group of women out on a hen night, yelling, roaring, showing their drawers, producing their chests, molesting passers-by? Then in the morning, a little painted waif dressed in virginal white will mutter demurely, "I day," and another unsuspecting male will be drawn into the clutches of the black widow spider. If that be the case, said Tommy, why do men get married? Many reasons, I said. Love, wanting to settle down, pressure from their mother, shotguns. But women smell so nice, said Tommy. So does deadly nightshade, I replied. Women use scent, perfume as a lure. Have you seen Katie Price's perfume? Have you smelt it? They also wear see-through nylons and don't fart for 3 months after they're married. The presenter now discusses the imminent death of the rock and roll idols of his youth. Does he perhaps feel the scythe hovering over his own sparsely covered head? They're the first generation. They're the first generation of rock and roll. And the premise of the program was, what's going to happen when these guys die?
Yeah.
I mean, Mick Jagger's going to die, and Paul McCartney's going to die. So half the Beatles are dead. Yes. All these people are all going to go. Even me. Yes. And there's no second generation. And it's only a unique thing. And the unique thing was, and we talked about this the other day, that the most amazing thing was that all these people, they all peaked when they were about 22. And now they're still hanging about doing what they did when they were 22. And they're now like 70. And there'll come a time when, Ringo's 70, these people. Suddenly they'll be 75 and suddenly, they're falling off the perch. And then somebody will tell you that, Chuck Berry is 80-something. There was a documentary about Chuck Berry. I watched it the other night, and his father was in it. And it was made in 1986, featured Keith Richards doing the music, of course, called Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll. And Chuck Berry is pictured sitting and talking to his father. And he's talking to his father. His father's a very old man. He's like 86, 87. And Chuck Berry is 60 years old, and he looks... Oh. He's 60 years old at the time.
Yes.
You're going to pick me up there, weren't you?
No.
You saw the opportunity. You're in there like a rat. You're like a rat in the snake. A snake in the rat.
The question was, what age is his father?
His father was 87 when Chuck Berry was 60.
Yes, but that's...
Yeah, and the point was
didn't tell us that.
No, but you wouldn't wait. You're just in. You're trying to get in. Get in. I got a chance here. Get at him. And when you let him finish, don't let him finish. There's a chance to get in. Like a wee terrier. And anyway, Chuck Berry is 60, sitting talking to his father. And you look at Chuck Berry and you look at his father. You said, his father looks no more like Chuck Berry. He doesn't look like him at all. And then later on, as the years fly on, and then you see a photograph of Chuck Berry in the paper. He is now 85 or 86. Chuck Berry is older than the Queen. Do you know that? And suddenly you see, Chuck Berry turned into his father. And suddenly the old Chuck Berry is gone. That'll happen to us all. I hope I turn into my father. My father was a nice man, even though he didn't know my name. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.